Hello students, we are here discuss metric spaces for MSc second semester students. Basically, metric spaces, we know well about the metric space in terms of distance function. Distance function given in four properties. If we have a non-empty set, x into x tends to r, then it can satisfy four properties. First one, dxy is greater or equal to 0. Second one is dxy equal to 0 if x equal to y, and dxy equal to dyx. This is called symmetric property. And well known property, triangle inequality, dxy is less or equal to dxz plus dzy. But we have to discuss some basics of metric spaces. As we know that the neighborhood of a point, this is very important. Basic value is given as x belongs to G, G is subset of N. X means P. A subset N of R is said to be neighborhood of a point P belongs to R in a set of real number if there exists an open interval G such that x equal to P belongs to G subset of N. This is very important. Again, in terms of open interval, a subset N of R is said to be neighborhood of a point P belongs to R if there exists a real number epsilon is greater than 0 such that P belongs to this open interval P minus epsilon comma P plus epsilon is subset of N. So we can say that the value of epsilon however small but not equal to 0. So we can take the value of epsilon instead of greater than 0, can say 1 by n. When n tends to infinity, it tends to 0. So we have an important result. A non-empty subset N of R is a neighborhood of a point P belongs to R if there exists a positive integer n such that the open interval P minus 1 upon n comma P plus 1 by n is subset of set of natural number. Suppose N of R be a neighborhood of P which is belongs to R if there exists an epsilon is greater than 0 such that P is lying in between P minus epsilon comma P plus epsilon, which is an open interval subset of N. Now we can select a value of 1 upon n is less than epsilon. This implies P plus 1 by n is less than P plus epsilon. Or we can say 1 by n is less than epsilon. This implies minus negative value of 1 by n is greater than negative value of epsilon. Now this implies that P minus 1 by n is greater than P minus epsilon. An open interval will be given as P minus 1 by n, P plus 1 by n, as we know, is subset of P minus epsilon comma P plus epsilon, because P plus 1 by n is less than P plus epsilon. So we have a set of this open interval P minus 1 by n, P plus 1 by n is always subset of P minus epsilon comma P plus epsilon. This implies the open interval P minus 1 by n comma P plus 1 by n is subset of N. This is very important result. Now conversely, we can say that if we have p minus 1 by n, p plus 1 by n in open interval is subset of n, then we can say that it is an open interval containing p in n. Hence, n is a neighborhood of p. Now, we have another problem. The intersection of two neighborhoods of a point is also a neighborhood of that point. n1 and n2 are two neighborhoods of p. There exists epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 are greater than 0. We can say that however small but not equal to 0, such that p minus epsilon 1, p plus epsilon 1 in open interval is subset of n1 in first neighborhood. Similarly, p minus epsilon 2, p plus epsilon 2 is subset of n2. Now we can take the minimum value of epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 by epsilon. So we can say that p minus epsilon comma p plus epsilon is subset of n1. Similarly, p minus epsilon, this is p minus epsilon 1 comma p plus epsilon 1 is subset of n1, and p minus epsilon 2 comma p plus epsilon 2 is subset of n2. When we have minimum value of epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 is given by epsilon, then we can say that open interval p minus epsilon comma p plus epsilon is subset of n1 intersection n2. Hence we can say that n1 intersection n2 is a neighborhood of p. Now we have interior point of a set. If there exists an open interval I such that p belongs to I, subset of a set P, P is interior point of capital P. This is called interior point of a set. Now, the limit point of a set, a point P belongs to R is said to be limit point of a set A is subset of R if every neighborhood of P contains at least one point of A other than P. This is very important line. Every neighborhood of P contains at least one point of A other than P. In terms of open interval, we have again the definition of limit point. Again, a point P belongs to R is said to be limit point of a set A is subset of R if there exists an epsilon which is greater than 0 such that P belongs to this open interval P minus epsilon comma P plus epsilon contains at least one point of A other than P. So we have underlined this point to remember this definition. A line one point of A other than P which contains a point one point of A other than P. Now derived set. This set of all limit points P belongs to R is said to be a derived set of a set A is subset of R is denoted by dA. Set of all limit points is said to be derived set. Set of all limit points is said to be derived set. And we have isolated point. A point P belongs to R is said to be isolated point of A if it is not the limit point of A. If it is not the limit point of A is isolated point. Now we have an important theorem, Bolzano-Weierstrass theorem for limit points. The statement of the theorem is every infinite bounded set of real numbers has a limit point. Now the proof based on the definition. If we have cleared the definition of limit point, then we can learn this theorem easily. Let A is subset of R be any infinite bounded set if K1 and K2 are infimum and supremum values of this set. Let K be the set any x belongs to K if and only if it exceeds at most a finite number of members of A. If it exceeds at most a finite number of members of A. So, if we consider K is not empty, also K is bounded above with K2, therefore K is bounded and non-empty subset of R. It means P is supremum of K. Now we have to show P is a limit point of A. For this purpose, we have P equal to supremum of K. This implies Q belongs to K and Q is greater than P minus epsilon. Little bit of value of P is greater than Q. It means we have to subtract an epsilon value from P, which gives Q is greater than P minus epsilon, where epsilon is greater than 0. If Q belongs to K, Q exceeds at most finite number of elements of A. This implies P minus epsilon exceeds at most finite number of elements of A. This is equation 1. If P equal to supremum of K, imply P plus epsilon exceeds at most finite number of elements of A. This is equation number 2. So we have from equation 1 and 2, there exists a neighborhood if P belongs to P minus epsilon comma P plus epsilon, which contains an infinite number of elements of A. The open interval P minus epsilon comma P plus epsilon of P contains an infinite number of elements of A. It means P is a limit point of A, which contains at least a point other than P. Thank you.